to box press or to not box press. I want to figure out why exactly do certain companies have box press cigars and others just completely disregard it. You are watching Oakland Tobacconist. If you're interested in the Stallone Habano or the Stallone Palomino Connecticut, or many other Stallone or boutique cigars, check us out, you know where to find us. Please do not forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell so that you are alerted every time we produce new content. Today I want to answer the question that I receive a lot here at the shop, also online. Why do box press cigars exist? Where did they come from? And how come not every cigar is round or not every cigar is box pressed? Is one better than the other? Well, hopefully we'll answer some of those questions, but let me first preface by saying some of what I'm going to say is personal preference on my part, and some of it is sort of like legend and lore that I've heard, and then some is direct from the horse's mouth of blenders, such as the blender of Stallone Cigars, Tony Barrios. First off, I will say that box press cigar, whether you love it, whether you hate it, it does exist within this industry. And there is a number of box press cigars out there. In fact, some of the most well-known premium hand-rolled cigars are box press. I'm talking about things about like Padron, Arturo Fuente. You might even find a Davidoff one or two that are actually box pressed. With that stated, it is kind of like throughout portfolios within the cigar industry. Some people absolutely love it. I am of the personal opinion that I really enjoy box press. I feel like the mouthfeel works great, holding it in the hand feels great. Sometimes bigger ring gauges appear and feel smaller in the box press format, so I'll always enjoy that portion. Where did this come from? Well, one of the stories I hear about a lot, and one that I enjoy a lot, is that far back in time in Cuba, when they were rolling out cigars very quickly, they still had a lot of humidification, and so they were easily impressionable. So they would squeeze 20 cigars or 25 cigars, whatever the cabinet or the box was, and then place it shut and then nail it down. That actual box would press them into that shape because you're squeezing it into that shape. Whether or not that's true, that seems to be the most common theory, and it's one that I actually enjoy. So box press does come from Cuba if you're looking at it from that aspect. Moving forward, is a box press cigar going to perform the same as a round cigar? Well, there are several different things that I will tell you that separate these two methods, and some of them are very important in terms of your knowledge when it comes to cigar smoking. First off, is the draw. Now, there are some people that will make the argument that the draw usually is better on a round or what's known as a Parejo cigar. Personally, I have found about 8 times out of 10, I prefer the draw on a box press cigar. And there's a theory behind this as well. When you're making a round cigar, you're putting that filler leaf, you're putting the binder, putting it into a press, and then wrapping that wrapper leaf, and you're ready to go on that Parejo round cigar. However, in a box press, you're pushing it into a particular shape. If you had the same amount of filler tobacco, you run a high risk of cracking that wrapper when you go to press it. So when you go to press it into that square or that rectangle shape, it could crack the wrapper because there's too much and it won't bend under that pressure. A lot of times you'll find a box press a little bit underfilled. Now, isn't that a ripoff? You're not getting as much tobacco as you want. However, sometimes it can be just the right ratio to open that cigar up, producing a better combustion, producing a better draw. And like I said, 9 times out of 10, I feel like I prefer the draw on a box press cigar. It just seems more open. And typically, if it's a good blender, they're not going to take out all the things like Ligero leaves or the high leaves, and that the cigar is going to taste completely different. Instead, they're going to remove a little bit of filler. It might taste a little bit touch different, but that's not only because of underfilling. We come to the other portion, talking with Tony Barrios, the blender of the Palomino Connecticut and the Alazan Habano. I asked him, why do you have certain cigars in your portfolio that are box pressed and some that are Parejo? His theory behind it, as he smokes his cigars throughout, what good blenders like himself will do is that he will construct a cigar in Nicaragua, he'll smoke it there, and then smoke it in different parts of the country of the US to see how it performs differently. And according to him, is when you have a Parejo cigar and you're going to smoke that cigar, you create a perfect seal because of it being round, and you're just drawing in the smoke from that cigar and then letting it out. With a box press, it's not a perfect seal, so the corners of your mouth will create extra airways that will influence and affect the taste of the cigar. And as he puts it, certain cigars seem to perform better, like the Habano does, with excess air through the corners of your mouth, while the Palomino Connecticut performs better with that perfect seal and not letting extra excess air with inside. So there's that duality. You have extra air and you also have underfill when you have the box press. Now another one, this may seem trivial, but when you are out golfing or you're doing some sort of sport, or maybe you're even trying to smoke on that Sunday day, the kids are running around, you might have to set the cigar down because the dog is trying to chase the postman, and sometimes you don't have a cigar rest. You put it on the table and you run the risk of getting up, bumping the table, and maybe the cigar rolls off. A box press eliminates those issues, whether it's on the golf cart, whether it's on the table, whether it's just plain simple out where the wind is at. This is going to keep it from rolling away. To me, that's an added bonus, especially if I'm up and down consistently and I don't have a cigar rest. However, you have the tradition of a Parejo round cigar. There's something about the feel of a 54 gauge, a 52 gauge, something that's round that just feels that classic smoking experience that is found only in a round Parejo cigar. For that atmosphere, because I'm big on, I really enjoy a good atmosphere, maybe music, maybe a drink to pair it with, and just looking at the label and smoking the cigar and looking at the tobacco. Sometimes you just want that Parejo round. So that's a benefit I would say for there because it's very traditional. You want something that's going to infuse that atmosphere with that tradition and heritage and just overall experience. Because I like the draw on a box press, because it won't roll away, and sometimes just the smoke production that produces, and when you're smoking that cigar, you have the smoke pluming from either side of your mouth. There are various things that I just really enjoy about a box press. And I think too, certain blends that have been released, I associate box press cigars with those blends, and that's why I tend to enjoy them so much. Drop down in the comments, what is your favorite? If you have the choice, exact same cigar, are you going to choose the cigar that is box pressed, or are you going to choose the cigar that is round? And has that changed at all? Did it start off one way and then change through? I know for me, I did not like box press in the beginning, but that quickly changed as I continued to further my palate. As usual, thank you for watching. Let me know in the comments what your opinion is, and we will see you next time on Oak Glen Tobacconist.